The year rock and roll reached new heights of ambition and artistry. This was the year that gave us one of the most ambitious rock songs ever recorded, a guitar riff that became synonymous with mystery and danger, and a debut album so perfect it sold 17 million copies. From progressive rock's epic journeys to hard rock's raw power, these 15 tracks didn't just dominate the charts, they became the soundtrack of a generation. I'm your host at High Voltage Rock History, and today we're diving deep into the legendary songs that define 1976. Let's get started.
I woke up this morning and the sun was gone. Turned on some music to start.
Number 1. More Than a Feeling. Boston, More Than a Feeling by Boston. The debut single that launched one of the most successful rock albums in history. This song was the brainchild of Tom Scholz, an MIT-trained engineer who spent years perfecting it in his basement studio. Scholz built much of his own recording equipment and meticulously layered guitars to create that massive, arena-ready sound. The result was a sonic masterpiece that sounded like nothing else on the radio. The song tells the story of a man reminiscing about a lost love named Marianne, with Brad Delp's soaring vocals delivering one of rock's most memorable choruses. That opening guitar riff is instantly recognizable. It's been called one of the greatest in rock history. More Than a Feeling peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, but its impact went far beyond chart position. Boston's self-titled debut album, anchored by this song, sold over 17 million copies in the United States alone, making it one of the best-selling debut albums ever. Tom Scholz's perfectionism paid off. More Than a Feeling remains a staple of classic rock radio and a testament to what one man with a vision and a basement studio can achieve.
Every time that I look in the mirror.
Number 2. Dream On, Aerosmith. Dream On by Aerosmith. Released in 1973 but re-released in 1976, this power ballad became the band's breakthrough hit. Steven Tyler wrote this song when he was just 21 years old, sitting at his father's piano in the Bronx. The lyrics reflect on aging and mortality-heavy themes for such a young songwriter. Tyler's father was a classical pianist, and you can hear that influence in the song's piano-driven structure. The original 1973 release barely made a dent on the charts, peaking at number 59. But after Aerosmith's subsequent albums gained traction, Columbia Records re-released Dream On in 1976, and this time it soared to number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song builds from a gentle piano ballad to a full-blown rock anthem, with Tyler's signature scream in the final chorus becoming one of rock's most iconic vocal moments. That scream wasn't planned. Tyler just let it rip in the studio, and producer Jack Douglas knew immediately they had something special. Dream On proved Aerosmith could do more than just hard rock. They could deliver emotional depth and musical sophistication. It became their signature song and launched them into superstardom.
She's killed a man, put a gun against his head.
Number 3. Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. The most ambitious, theatrical, and groundbreaking rock song ever recorded. Written entirely by Freddie Mercury, this 6-minute operatic masterpiece defied every rule of commercial radio. It has no chorus, shifts through multiple musical styles, includes a full operatic section with layered harmonies, and tells a cryptic story that Mercury never fully explained. The recording took 3 weeks at 6 different studios, with the band creating 180 separate overdubs. Brian May, Roger Taylor, and Mercury spent days recording the operatic section, layering their voices so many times that the tape became nearly transparent from overuse. When the band's label heard it, they said it would never get radio play. It was too long, too weird, too complex. But Queen's manager leaked it to a DJ friend, and listener demand exploded. The song hit number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Queen's signature piece. The promotional video, filmed in just 4 hours, is considered one of the first true music videos and helped revolutionize how music was marketed. Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't just a song.
On the dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair.
Number 4. Hotel California, Eagles. Hotel California by the Eagles, the most mysterious, debated, and iconic song of the 1970s. Don Felder created that haunting guitar intro on a 12-string acoustic, and the band built an entire masterpiece around it. The lyrics, written primarily by Don Henley and Glenn Frey, tell the story of a weary traveler who checks into a luxurious hotel and discovers he can never leave. What does it mean? The band has given multiple explanations over the years. It's about the dark side of the American dream, the excesses of the California music industry, or simply a journey into addiction and hedonism. The line, "You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave," became one of rock's most quoted lyrics. The song's dual guitar solo, performed by Don Felder and Joe Walsh, is considered one of the greatest in rock history. The two guitarists traded licks in perfect harmony, creating a soaring, emotional climax that still gives listeners chills. Hotel California hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won the Grammy for Record of the Year. It remains the Eagles' most enduring song and a staple of classic rock radio worldwide. But wait until you hear the story behind song number 6. It involved a cowbell, a producer's crazy idea, and a riff that became synonymous with death itself. Number 5. Don't Fear the Reaper, Blue Oyster Cult. Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. The song that made cowbell a rock legend. Written by guitarist Donald "Buck Dharma" Roser, this song explores the inevitability of death and the idea that love transcends mortality. The lyrics reference Romeo and Juliet, suggesting that death is not an end, but a transformation. That iconic guitar riff, played on a 12-string electric, is instantly recognizable. But what really made the song unforgettable was producer David Lucas's decision to add more cowbell during the recording. Yes, more cowbell long before it became a Saturday Night Live joke. Blue Oyster Cult was layering cowbell into one of rock's most haunting tracks. The song peaked at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became the band's biggest hit. Its eerie, melodic sound influenced countless bands and became a staple of classic rock radio. And yes, the cowbell is real, it's prominent, and it works perfectly. Don't Fear the Reaper proved that sometimes the strangest production choices create the most memorable songs.
Wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done.
Number 6. Carry On Wayward Son, Kansas. Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas. The progressive rock anthem that became a surprise hit. Written by guitarist Kerry Livgren, this song wasn't about a literal wayward son, it was about spiritual searching and the journey toward enlightenment. Livgren, who was exploring various religious philosophies at the time, packed the lyrics with references to spiritual struggle and redemption. The song's complex structure-shifting time signatures, intricate guitar work, and soaring vocal harmonies was typical of Kansas's progressive rock style. But unlike many prog rock songs, Carry On Wayward Son had a hook that radio couldn't resist. It peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Kansas's signature song. The track's anthemic chorus, "Carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done," resonated with listeners and became one of rock's most uplifting refrains. Decades later, the song found new life as the unofficial theme song for the TV series Supernatural, introducing Kansas to a whole new generation of fans.
What about the people, yeah, who don't get enough to eat?
Number 7. Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller Band. Fly Like an Eagle by Steve Miller Band. A psychedelic rock anthem with a social conscience. Steve Miller wrote this song as a call for social change, with lyrics addressing poverty, hunger, and the need to help those less fortunate. The opening synthesizer riff, created on a Moog, gives the song its spacey, otherworldly feel. The song's message, "Time keeps on slippin', slippin', slippin' into the future," captured the uncertainty of the mid-70s, a time of economic struggle and political disillusionment. But Miller balanced the heavy themes with an infectious groove that made the song a radio staple. Fly Like an Eagle peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of Steve Miller Band's most enduring hits. Its blend of social commentary and catchy melody proved that rock could be both meaningful and fun.
I wonder how you're feeling. It's ringing in my ears.
Number 8. Show Me the Way, Peter Frampton, Show Me the Way by Peter Frampton. The song that launched the best-selling live album in history. Frampton wrote this song in 1975 as a heartfelt plea for guidance and direction, both spiritually and romantically. The studio version was pleasant enough, but it was the live version from Frampton Comes Alive that changed everything. That iconic talkbox effect, where Frampton's guitar seems to speak the words, became the song's signature. The talkbox, a device that channels guitar sound through a tube into the musician's mouth, allowing them to shape the sound with their lips, had been used before, but Frampton perfected it and made it his trademark. Recorded live at the Winterland Ballroom in San Francisco and the Long Island Arena in New York, the extended live version showcased Frampton's virtuosity and the raw energy of his performances. The crowd's enthusiastic response is audible throughout, adding to the song's infectious appeal. Show Me the Way peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Frampton Comes Alive became the best-selling live album of all time, moving over 8 million copies in the US alone. Peter Frampton went from respected musician to global superstar virtually overnight. Number 9. Detroit Rock City, Kiss, Kiss, a high-octane tribute to rock and roll and a tragic true story. Written by Paul Stanley and producer Bob Ezrin, this song tells the story of a young fan racing to a Kiss concert who dies in a car crash. The inspiration came from a real incident. A teenager was killed in a car accident on his way to a Kiss show in 1975. The song opens with the sound of a car engine revving, screeching tires, and a crash, immediately setting the dramatic tone. From there, it explodes into one of Kiss's most powerful rockers, with driving guitars, pounding drums, and Stanley's passionate vocals. Detroit Rock City became a concert staple, and the opening track on the album, Destroyer, Number 12, Saturday Night, Bay City Rollers. Saturday Night by the Bay City Rollers, the infectious pop rock anthem that sparked roller mania. This Scottish band became a global phenomenon in the mid-70s, with teenage fans screaming, fainting, and mobbing them wherever they went. Saturday Night, with its hand claps, SATURDAY night, chant, and irresistible energy, became their biggest American hit. Written by Bill Martin and Phil Coulter, the song is pure, unadulterated fun, a celebration of weekend freedom and youthful exuberance. The production is tight, the hooks are undeniable, and the band's tartan-clad image made them instantly recognizable. Saturday Night hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in January 1976 and became a cultural phenomenon. The Bay City Rollers were briefly as popular as the Beatles had been a decade earlier, with merchandise, TV specials, and sold-out concerts worldwide. While critics dismissed them as a manufactured teen sensation, Saturday Night remains a guilty pleasure and a perfect snapshot of mid-70s pop rock.
Now come on, baby. I've been working all night long.
Number 13, Fool to Cry, The Rolling Stones. Fool to Cry by the Rolling Stones, a rare moment of vulnerability from rock's greatest rebels. Written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards during the sessions for the album Black and Blue, this ballad showcased a softer, more introspective side of the Stones. Jagger's lyrics tell the story of a man comforted by a woman and her child, with the refrain, "Daddy, you're a fool to cry," offering both tenderness and tough love. The song features Billy Preston on keyboards, adding soulful depth to the track. Jagger's vocal delivery is restrained and emotional, a stark contrast to the band's usual swagger. Fool to Cry reached number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a surprise hit for the Stones, proving they could deliver heartfelt ballads as effectively as hard-charging rockers.